How is everyone? That's a bit of a well, yeah. Is anyone ever really great? I just sort of come on here today just to, I guess, just sort of vent a bit of frustration. um, yeah, it's just that whole thing of I don't know if anyone can share the same sort of feeling as a male. If there's other males watching, just the how hard it can be to keep a level head and keep pushing when the times are tough. And I think that's we don't want to be seen as I guess we don't want to be seen as weak. We want to be seen as having our shit together. So to answer your question, it's been a bit of a struggle lately, to be honest. I think the other thing, if we're just going to talk, say with this YouTube channel I've got, it's not, I'm frustrated with how, in the past I've gone to a lot of effort to, I guess you'd say, produce a an entertaining and thoughtful video. Um, that's a lot of work, for me as what I put out on here as a someone that creates artistic stuff. It's like, that some of those art pieces could take, uh, let's say it's a week, then you've got to edit it, then you've got to do whatever else you want to do for that video before you upload it, and then you upload it and you get shitty views, and then you're just like, well, what was the point of that? That I think again is that motivation of, or struggling with the motivation to try and keep putting stuff out there, and then if you put that as a personal thing, that's pretty disheartening. You want to, I think in the world of social media, as anyone's going to know, if you sort of don't get the response, I guess, that you thought you would get from all that hard work, whether that's whether that's in social media or just in your job in general, it's pretty rough. You want to feel like you are appreciated in what you do for what you can do, whether that's to an employer or to your partner or whatever that is. And again, when you're not getting that positive feedback, it's hard to very hard to, again, I use that word, keep motivated to want to keep working hard. Like I work for myself, and sometimes you'll put in days, week, whatever, time to produce a final product for your client, and then they just go, oh yeah, that's great, thanks, cool, or they don't even say thank you. They take forever to pay you, or they complain about something, and I don't know. It's just, as I said, I feel like I'm just venting frustration, and I am feeling frustrated at the moment, just in a lot of things. As I said, I'm trying my best for everyone around me, whether that's work or family or whatever it might be, and sometimes I just feel like I'm not getting that positive feedback that you would hope to get. It's really just a rough time at the moment. I think I don't think I'm the only one. So I don't know. I guess I just sort of wanted to see what other people's thoughts were, and if there's other people that have a similar feeling to this, whether it's, as I said, whether it's in your work or your family life, or it's your journey with social media. Look, I don't know. I'm frustrated with social media as it is. I used to have Facebook, I used to have Instagram, and for all the same reasons, I no longer have them. It felt fruitless to put stuff out there and not get the feedback that I'd hoped, and it's just really hard. I don't know. So you get to a point where you're just like, well, where am I going with this? What am I trying to achieve? What do I want to do with, I guess, just life in general moving forward? I'm not saying that I want to end myself, by no means at all, but it's like you can sort of get to that point where you just sort of go, well, all right, what is the point of working my ass off for an employer, or working myself to the bone for myself, in my own job? And like, again, I guess if I go to the point of view of being a male, like I'm not going to say always, but generally it's we are the providers for our family, or the household as a general, and sometimes you can feel like you're not providing enough. No matter how hard you're working, no matter how hard you push, you could. It seems ridiculous. Like you could work 12, 14, 16 hours a day, and you're either not, you're burning yourself out, and you're not spending time with people that you prefer to spend time with. You're exhausted on weekends. You don't want to go out. You don't want to socialise. You don't want to because you're just exhausted. You're just so tired. You're having stupid arguments. You're frustrated just with everything, and that's where I've got. I'm trying. I feel like at my age, which I'm not going to go into, I feel like I have worked 90% of my life, and I don't know if I would say, yeah, I'm definitely not where I thought I would be at this age. I thought I would be a lot more relaxed. I thought I would be having more free time to myself. I thought I would be having to work less, but I feel like, if I'm honest, I feel like I'm having to work way more now and work harder now than I've ever had to before, and whether that's because things are more expensive, whether that's because I've got a mortgage, I've got just way more expenses than I've ever had to in my life, and it's just like, well, you're sort of working for nothing. You bring in however much you bring in every week or every month, and that just never seems to be anything left over to actually enjoy life. Um, if you go on holiday, that's great, but you're always, for me anyway, I get into a position where, yes, there's money there, but you don't want to be going crazy and spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on accommodation and entertainment and I don't know. It just I feel like I'm always under a lot of stress, and this is not me. I couldn't care less if I made money off social media. To be honest, I don't think that's ever going to be a thing. I'd love it to be, but I don't think it's ever going to be. And it's whatever. Like, I'm trying to, uh, as someone's written there, I've just got to do it for me. And yes, that's true. I put my stuff out there because I think what I've done is something that people will enjoy looking at, and that's why I was doing it. Um, I would love to get a much better response with putting that stuff out there. I really would. I think, as I've posted in another video, where we go to all this effort to put something up on wherever you're going to post it. You get a minimal positive response in views or likes or whatever, however you want to go about it. And that's whatever. To be honest, if people like what they want to watch, that's what people are going to watch. I think I think in that, then you look at someone. I couldn't tell you a specific creator, if you will, but let's say um, as a collective, these young girls, young attractive women, they'll put up some. I'll just say it, some shitty dance video or some look, I don't know, whatever they post, they get this stupid, massive influx of idiot males just going crazy over them, and I think that's the frustration, because that's where society's gone now. That with particularly females posting on that certain website, and guys now think that any girl posting anywhere is going to respond the same way as those women do on that site, and I hate it. It really makes me sick. I just I try to put out content that anyone could watch, that anyone could just anyone can watch. So, kids can watch that. You don't feel ashamed to open your phone and show people this stuff. And I don't know. As I said, I think I'm just frustrated. Just as a general, overall, I'm frustrated. Um, I'm just, I'm just really not. If I'm completely honest, I'm not enjoying where I'm at. I assumed that I'd be in a position similar to friends that I grew up with. They're all very successful in the businesses they do and have, and it's very hard not to compare myself to them. It's very hard not to want what they have. I'm just at a point where I guess if we're talking about that, let's say, all right, I don't associate with them anymore. It's not because I hate them. It's not because I'm not because of my jealousy. It's we dropped out of friendship because what would we say we dropped out of friendship because of? I would say it's because I didn't feel I was any longer a priority in their lives. Not to say that I needed to be their one priority. I just think that they grew a new set of friends that fit with their lifestyle better than I could. Again, whatever. If that's what you wanted to do, by all means. That really hurt. It um, it put me in a place of, I don't know, awkward. Um, I'm just at a bit of a point where I don't know what steps to take next, and I'm going to repost this, that people can watch and listen back to again later. But I'm always going to value any feedback, because really the way I see it is that the people that take the time to comment, and like and share whatever I do, which doesn't happen that often, but when it does, I appreciate it. And um, I don't know. As I said, I don't know what steps to take next, but I would like someone to drop a comment, drop a suggestion as to what they might like to see next, what they would like to hear, know. You know, I'm I've been pretty open and honest, and I'm fine with that. So yeah, just let me know whatever people want to know. Just send me a message. I don't know, but again, appreciate those that have made comments, that have made suggestions, and yeah, that means a lot, because sometimes we just feel like we're talking into a void, and we that we're not getting that response. And when you're not getting that response, you feel very alone. And we're not alone. There's people out there that care. So appreciate you, and let me know some thoughts. Thanks.